Joe Hopkins here, and today I'm back on to my favorite subject on this channel, budget guitars. And the question, who is the king of budget guitars? I'm holding one here. I don't know if you can tell who I'm talking about, but I'll tell you in a second. The truth is, I've gone over a lot of different things on this channel about budget guitars. Who has the best customer service, which is the most trusted brand, who has the best quality, the best value for the money, the cheapest, the the most popular, all kinds of different criteria, different ideas, who's the best at this, who's the best at that. And no matter what I talk about, no matter what the subject is, there's one brand that comes up on literally all of them. And it's made me realize that they are indeed the king of budget guitars. And it's worth mentioning, it's worth talking about, because if you're shopping for a guitar, right, and you don't have a lot of money and you're looking at budget guitars, which is what I do because I love guitars and I love collecting them, and I'm not a rich man. I can't go buy $10,000 Gibsons. And if you're doubting whether or not they cost 10 grand, go take a look. A lot of them do. I mean, a good Gibson starts at like 2,000 and works its way up from there. So who's the king? I'll come right out with it. I believe, in my opinion, it's Harley Benton. And the reason why is because they cover all the bases. I'm not going to say they're the best with everything, but they're up there with everything. Literally. And honestly, they are. They make good guitars. But the truth is a lot of their guitars, they have different guitars made in different factories in different places. So the level of quality is always pretty good, but it differs depending on the guitar, and usually the price point. That's the other thing. They have guitars from under $100 all the way up to like $600-700. They have, like the one I was just holding, they have extended range guitars. I own two 7-strings, right? Honestly, I like my Ibanez a little bit better. But all told, my Harley Benton 7-string is an excellent, excellent guitar. And they have them. They also have 8 strings. They have fan fret guitars. They have all kinds of different varieties. And most of the budget guitar companies make electrics, but they don't make acoustics. A lot of them don't. Some do. You have companies that do. Harley Benton does acoustics. I've got my Delta Blues OE here. This was under $100 when I bought it, and it is an excellent, excellent guitar. It's one of my favorite acoustic guitars, and I own a number of acoustic guitars. I like acoustic guitars. I play a lot of acoustic stuff, and this is an excellent one. It sounds great. It plays really, really good. I wouldn't say it's my best playing acoustic, but it's close. It's not my best sounding acoustic, but it's up there. And my acoustic that I think plays and sounds better cost more than twice as much, But Harley Benton also has more expensive acoustic guitars if you want something higher quality. They do have various price points. I've got my 12-string acoustic here. Spent a little bit more on this. This one does not have the greatest action in the world, but it sounds good, and it's good enough. It plays good enough, especially for the price. 12 strings are notoriously kind of difficult to play. You have to fiddle with them to get them adjusted in right a lot of times. Because, man, you got, instead of 6 strings pulling on this neck, you have 12. So it requires some adjustments to get the action where you want it. But that's neither here nor there. The point is it's a good quality, good sounding, spruce top, mahogany sides and back, 12-string guitar. I needed a 12-string acoustic for recording. Well, I felt I needed one, and I think I do, right? This is an excellent one. Absolutely excellent. And when I go to record, a lot of times it really does help the action if I capo it, and then it plays great. Some guitars are like that. I'm not bashing the action on that guitar. It's as good as my Fender 12-string acoustic. I shouldn't say that. The Fender's really bad. It's actually better than my Fender. It's way better. It sounds better. It plays better. But the point is they have that kind of variety on a fairly decent quality instrument at a very good price. And they have good customer service. They're sold through Thomann Music. I'll put a link down below. But since they're sold through Thomann, which for those of you out there who aren't in Europe, Thomann is the big music company in Europe. They're like Musician's Friend or Sweetwater in the US, right? But Thomann also does ship to the US. There's a little bit of a shipping fee. And apparently the stuff gets to you quicker than it used to, which wasn't their fault. It would get stuck in customs here in the US. Every time I ordered something, it was in customs for at least a couple weeks. Not Thomann's fault, but stuff's getting here quicker now, apparently, from what I've been told. I haven't ordered from them for a little bit, but people are telling me, hey, their stuff gets here in less than a week now, which is great. It used to be like 6 to 8 weeks. So they also, you know, they make very good electric guitars like this one. This is my, what is it, SC Custom FR. And it's the Les Paul style. I'm trying to think of what people call it. SC for single cut, right? Excellent guitar. This one I actually know who manufactures it. It's manufactured by Inian Vina. And they make really, really good stuff. And this is an excellent guitar. It has the Roswell pickups. The great thing about those, Harley Benton, a lot of their better models have Roswell pickups in them. Now, I think they have a couple that have EMGs now, including the SC Custom. I don't know if the FR does. I would imagine so. But FR stands for Floyd Rose. It's got a Floyd Rose tremolo. And at the price I paid for this, I wanted a guitar with a Floyd Rose. It's an absolutely excellent guitar. Everything I've gotten from Harley Benton has terrific fretwork, very good quality. Like I said, since it is through a big company, you get good customer service. You know, you can't really go wrong. And are there better deals out there on guitars that are just as good? Yeah, there are, but a lot of times they're through sellers where you might not have the same customer service like you do with a big company like Thomann. And a lot of times, the styles and types of guitars, most companies are limited. They're very limited in what you can get, and Harley Benton isn't. That's why I kind of put them as the king, because they have such a large variety, and you can find any style. You can find almost any, like, color, all kinds of stuff, because they have extended range guitars, and acoustic guitars, and electric guitars, and they have... Even when you get into just the Les Paul styles, they sell the traditional Les Pauls in varying price points with varying types of pickups and hardware. And like this one, the SC Custom is not a traditional Les Paul type. It's got like the cutaways in the back, if you can see that there. It's got that, you know, scooped out section. It's thinner than a traditional Les Paul. This one has the Floyd Rose, but not all of them do. You know, Grover tuners, it's got locking strap nuts on it there. It's got all the stuff, right? But it'll cost you a little bit more than some of their traditional Les Paul styles. But you can get the traditional ones. Or, you know, you can get, they've got all kinds of different styles. They've got the, you know, Stratocaster, Telecaster. Like I said, they got the extended range guitars, fan frets, modern looking stuff, headless guitars, all kinds of acoustic guitars. They even sell kit guitars, like this one. I've had this one on my channel a good bit. This was a Harley Benton DC kit that I put together. You know, basswood body, and the pickups, for being their El Cheapo pickups, like the basic pickups they sell, sound really good. You know, I don't think they sound quite as good as the Roswells, but man, they sound really good. When I bought this, I intended on eventually changing the pickups, and I just haven't. You know, I figured the pickups, the hardware, I'll change them out at some point. I haven't, because the bridge, the saddle, the tuners, they're all reasonably very good, and the pickups do sound great. And they have a particular type of old school classic rock, you know, kind of like vintage tone that I like having a guitar that has that sound, you know, that vintage sound. They really do sound like the kind of pickups that they used to sell back in the day. And I like that. I like that kind of tone. So, I mean, even the El Cheapo stuff is pretty good, you know? And, I mean, kit. Who doesn't want a guitar kit? And they sell those too. You know, and there are, oh, there we go. There are companies out there, budget guitar companies that I've covered, that sell other kinds of instruments, right? But not all of them do, but Harley Benton does. I have a banjo and 2 fiddles that I bought from them. They also sell mandolins. And I gotta say, Thomann Music, and I'll include this with Harley Benton because Thomann, it's the same company. If you go under the Thomann brand, they also have electric keyboards and a lot of folk instruments, including like East Indian instruments and Eastern European instruments, Irish and European folk instruments. I can't remember the names of all of them now. Oh my God. They even sell sitars, you know, but for the life of me, I can't remember some of them, the names of this stuff, because I'm getting old. But if you go on the Thomann's website and look at their folk instruments, you can go down through their Thomann brand, which, you know, is their other store brand along with Harley Benton. They have a variety of things, right? So, I mean, Harley Benton, Thomann, they really are the cream of the crop when it comes to budget instruments, actually. Including some of the very strange and cool things I've seen Harley Benton sell. They have resonator guitars. They have an all-metal resonator guitar. It'll set you back a little bit more than the cheaper guitars, but, I mean, it's not expensive for what it is. All metal, you know, metal-bodied with a resonator, that type of, like National Guitars used to make. And that is awesome. They had a guitar bass, which isn't the same as a bass guitar, right? And they do sell basses, but the guitar bass is something that interests me. It's a 6-string guitar that's tuned like, what is it, an octave lower than a regular guitar. So, and it looks like a guitar, it's just lower tuning, which is really cool, I think. It's not a baritone guitar, which the baritone guitars are set lower, but not as low, and they're tuned, baritone guitar is tuned differently, or a lot of times they'll sell 7 and 8 strings as baritone guitars, which is fine, they pretty much are. But, you know, a guitar bass, I've only seen a couple companies with those, and Harley Benton is one of them, and they're the only budget company I've seen with those. Usually, I can't remember who else had those, you know, but it was a lot of money, and Harley Benton's isn't. They also have things like dual neck guitars that will set you back, I think, $500, $600, something like that. But like the Jimmy Page style SG type dual neck 6-string, 12-string electric, they have one of those. They have a solid body electric mandolin, which is something I thought would be cool to check out. But the point is, they have such a variety of types, styles, colors. They have the customer service down. The quality is solidly decent. You can find guitars that are low priced, yet decent quality, all the way up to their higher priced stuff, where you're getting a good bit more value for the money, and you're getting a guitar that's like getting into professional level quality of a guitar. They pretty much cover all their bases. Now, some people might argue with my assessment and say, well, no, this company's better, or that company's better. Yeah, but my point is, no matter what you're looking at buying, no matter what it is, they're at least in the conversation, along with good customer service, and that makes them about the top. I mean, what can you say, man? If you're looking at buying a budget guitar, you might look at 10 different brands, and then you might pick someone else's, but you're going to look at Harley Benton more than likely at some point, just because there's such a large retailer of budget guitars. And I've heard a lot of people tell me, what about Esquire and Epiphone? Yeah, they also are great. They are a lot of this stuff rather affordably priced, good quality. You can order them from a big company, and they just make certain models. And Harley Benton makes everything. It's why I love just browsing. I would recommend going to Thomann and go into the guitar section and just select Harley Benton and just go through and see what they have, because they have stuff that you wouldn't expect. Stuff that you might not know exists. I mean, they literally have just about everything. It's not all of it's not always in stock, but it's like that with everybody, isn't it? Keeping stuff in stock seems to be a little bit of a challenge these days. It might get easier when epidemics and wars are over and supply chains can go back to the way they were. But even if it's not in stock, they have it, and you can, if you really want it, you can keep an eye on it and wait for it to come back in stock. But yeah, for anybody out there shopping for a budget guitar, I'd recommend checking out Harley Benton, just because you do have such a large variety to choose from. If you can't find the color of a guitar you want with somebody else, you can probably find it with them. If you want a particular style, they probably have it. If you want something strange or just different, it's worth looking through, because I bet you they have something that'll catch your eye. And like I said, it's why I like to browse their page on a regular basis, just to see what they have. So I hope you guys found this informative. I hope you liked the video. And here at the end, if you want to see reviews on the guitars I just showed you and some other Harley Benton instruments, there's a reviews playlist. It comes up in like one of these corners or down here or something like that. You can go to the playlist and scroll down through it and see what there is and pick something. And I'll tell you all about that guitar in that video. Or fiddle or banjo. You know, like I said, Harley Benton makes a lot of stuff. Or if you want to hear some of the songs I've recorded with a lot of the guitars that I review, there's a songs playlist too. And look, I'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Love you guys. Peace out, baby. Bye-bye.